Hi everyone, it's Megan and I'm here for the monthly recommendations of April. So I have 3 books for you this month and I hope that you like them or that they inspire you at least to try something new from the library this month. So the first book I have is Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. Aiden Thomas is also the author of Cemetery Boys. I have not read it yet, but I've only heard good things, so I'm very excited to read it. So with this book here, it's actually a retelling of the Peter Pan story, but Wendy's the main character. So Wendy and her brothers go into the woods, but when they come back, they don't all come back. Only Wendy does. And then the town ends up noticing that some other kids are missing, and a mysterious Peter comes and asks Wendy for help to find the missing children and the other kids that have left the town. So this seemed really intriguing, and I'm very excited to see how it turns out. My next recommendation is a little bit heavier, but it's called Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. So this is a story about 2 sisters who are originally from Seoul, Korea, that moved to San Antonio, Texas, and then ended up in New York during their young adult life. And it's just about 2 sisters who clash. They don't mesh well, they don't really like each other because they're so different, but one ends up getting cancer and they are thrust together to try and help each other during this really trying time. So it seemed really interesting to see how this works out, and if any of you have siblings, you know how tough it can be to deal with clashing personalities, so we'll see how this one turns out. This cover is also really neat because on the side, the 2 sisters are actually holding hands, so that was really cool. My last recommendation is Dawn Raid by Pauline Smith. And this book has some historical context because it takes place during 1976 New Zealand, where this young girl is experiencing a lot of unrest from the people in her community, and they start getting inspired by civil rights activists during the time in America. So being inspired by the Black Panthers and other civil rights activists, these group of people in New Zealand joined together to do protests against their government to try and get rights. So this one seemed really interesting because it's a story I haven't really heard of before. There's some illustrations in the book, and in the back there's also some pictures of the time period, and there's also a dictionary or a glossary of Maori words, so you can know what they're talking about in the book too. So I hope that inspires you to get ready to read for spring, and I'll see you next time. Bye! So with this book here, Lost in the Neverwoods, this is a different retelling of the Peter Pan story where Wendy is the main character.